All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is January 27, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Hey, let's go take a look at some charts today. All right. 10-minute on the SPY. All right. 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. 2-hour on the SPY. 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. On the daily chart, we're still technically in an uptrend. We made a brand new high yesterday, Friday. Okay, just got a pullback. Price action, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bullish trap, but over the rising 17 EMA. That's for SPY. Week, 2-day time frame, still uptrend. Weekly, still uptrend. Monthly, still uptrend. Okay, so all of those still in an uptrend. Let's take a look at what we traded today. For today, we traded on the 10-minute. We had a little buy coming up over here. All right, that was price over 593 over the pivot. Bought into the big candle. Traded it up to 599.72. All right, and we bought the pullback, traded it up to 599.18. Bought the pullback, traded it up to 45. All right, so there's SPY. At the end of the close, I have 43 calls, 610 expires in 4 days, 28 609 calls short expires in 4 days. Okay, so that's what I got going into the close. A little heavier on the long side. I actually think price winds up right back up here by tomorrow afternoon. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ on the daily chart. QQQ lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish cross, underneath the 17 EMA, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish cross, underneath the 17 EMA, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow had a great day. Outside day, higher high, lower low, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17 EMA, over the all-time high anchored VWAP up there in quadrant 4. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM, lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. Still just neutral right in here. All right, it's on the bullish side of neutral. If you look at it, okay, so there's the quad lines. There's the August pullback. Price action just kind of neutral. Not in the upper third, not in quadrant 4. Technicals, T2122. We just hung out in the buy zone all day today. Not too bad. I mean, I figured we were down here in the oversold zone. The way things were selling off early this morning. Almost a $20 drop from the beginning of the day. We wound up just hanging out inside the buy zone. All right, so let's take a look at T2123. T2123, check this out. Gaps up, bullies up, and then consolidates and holds the higher ground all day over the prior all-time high right there. Up over the hooking 200 SMA right there. Okay, up over. So green from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. On the 3-bar chart, 3 more green candle bars closing in on the space between the flat 200 and the price action. Again, up over the prior all-time high. Let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU fell out of bed this morning. FNGU gapped down, and notice the bears held it down. All right, price action Stopped going down, found some support right here on this diagonal support line right through there. Okay, price action underneath the 200 SMA. Red from the beginning of the day almost to the end of the day. The end of the day had a little rally here, got two green candle bars right there. All in all, price closing under the 200, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under this downtrend line right here. Okay, so did not want to see that. Kind of like to see it up here. That would have been nicer, but then again, it wouldn't be as dramatic as what we had this morning. All right, let's take a look at a few sectors. XLE. All right, let's go back to FNGU. Okay, let's take a look at XLE right here. Got a headache. All right, XLE, lower high, lower low, closing under bearish cross, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Up here in neutral, it's neutral. All right, so again, price action in the neutral zone. If it was in the upper third, you could say it's bullish, or up in quadrant 4, you could say it's bullish, so just kind of neutral right there. All right, got a downtrend line coming right here. There's one that exists right there, and we're underneath that one. There's one that exists right here, and we're underneath that one as well. Okay, so price action on the XLE. Still in a downtrend. It's just a label. All right, so we haven't taken out any highs up here. Okay, so it's likely to put in a lower high, then a higher low, find some support, and J-hook up there. We'll see what happens. There's XLE. In a downtrend, but on the bullish side of neutrality right there. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG, should have got some of that today. I think I was bidding for some. I didn't get filled. Lower high, lower low in the buy box for me. Anywhere in here. All the way down to 15. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA, up in quadrant 3. All right, still bullish, making higher lows and higher highs. Let's take a look at USO. Still bullish, making higher lows and higher highs. Price action, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Right there. Made back in 2022. So that's about 3 years ago. 2023, 2024, and 2025. 3 years ago. About 3 years ago. Hanging out in quadrant 3 on the bullish side of neutrality right there. So just kind of neutral. Moving up, giving it up. Just kind of neutral right there. Okay, let's take a look at silver and gold, both in uptrends. Price action, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish cross, underneath the 17, underneath the 12-year high anchored VWAP. On the bearish side of neutrality here on silver. So silver having a tough go of it. Gold still in an uptrend. Oh, by the way, silver's still in an uptrend. All right, just want to point that out. Here's the low. If they take out that low, they'll be in a downtrend. Okay? So they took out this high, so they're in an uptrend. If they take out that low, they're in a downtrend. Gold. We'll pull back today. Lower high, lower low, closing inside bullish trap over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Gold is bullish. All right? Way up here in quadrant 4, darn near took out the all-time high on Friday. Gold is bullish. All right, nice pullback today to the 8 EMA. All right, let's take a look at SMH. SMH, back in a downtrend. See that? Took out all these lows. Moving up, giving it up, it's neutral. Closing underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, SMH, just neutral right here. XLK. XLK still in an uptrend. XLK lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish cross, underneath the 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, a prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Noticed on Friday, it made a new all-time high. What a drop, huh? Just making a new all-time high on Friday. You wake up Monday morning and you're taking out the lows almost. XLK still bullish, up in the upper third up here. Okay, just underneath the prior all-time high right there, VWAP, underneath the trap and underneath the 17. But it's still in the upper third up here. Let's take a look at XLF. XLF darn near put in a new all-time high today. All right. XLF, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, over the 17, up in the top side of quadrant 4. That is very bullish, XLF. Let's take a look at XLI. XLI still in a downtrend. More than likely puts in a lower high and a higher low, and then takes out that high. XLI still in a downtrend because it doesn't have anything over here over the 17 to wipe out. Okay, so there's XLI, so it's a pullback in a downtrend. It is just a label. All right, XLI, lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the all-time high anchored VWAP and over the rising 17 up in quadrant 4. That is bullish. Even though it's in a downtrend, it's still bullish up here in this quadrant up there. If they happen to hold this higher ground, that'll be looking real good. Let's take a look at XLU. Utilities in an uptrend. If the utilities take out this low, they're in a downtrend. Okay, they took out this high, so they're in an uptrend. Didn't move up today. Lower high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap, but over the rising 17, and over the all-time high anchored VWAP on the bullish side of neutrality here, not in the upper third, not in quadrant 4. You can look at XRT. XRT still in an uptrend. If it takes out this low, it's in a downtrend. Price action here on XRT retail sector, moving up, giving it up, just kind of neutral. It has melted up to the upper third. That's a good sign right there. It's got to hold it though and not keep giving it up. Every time it gets up there, it gives it up. So let's hope it can hold up there in the upper third on the XRT. Still in an uptrend right there. Let's take a look at IYT. Is that the real candle? I always have to go and look. It is. It is the real candle. Wow. So transports just hopping and popping today. Higher low, higher high. That's an uptrend. Closing over bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. About to challenge the backside of this uptrend line. Right here. Okay, up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. All right, I take questions. Where do I see Dow components on TC2000? You have to, Stefan, you would have to go into your billing and pay the extra money to see it. It's only 30 securities, so you're probably just better off going over here to something like this and putting in list of DIA securities. Right there, Dow holding list right there. Okay, Goldman Sachs, United Healthcare, Microsoft, Home Depot, Caterpillar, Sherwin-Williams, Salesforce, Visa, American Express, McDonald's, Amgen, JP Morgan, Travelers, Amazon, IBM, Apple, Honeywell, right there. And the US dollar? That's strange. So I'm going to put this in there for you. All right, Stefan. If you pay the extra money, you can get the all the stuff on the DIA. All right? So, or you can just cheat and look right there. Yeah, a little bit of Malcolm's dark pools at the end of the day. Yep. I think you have to for real time. I think you have to select it in your billing. All right, I'm pretty sure you have to. I know what you're talking about. Oh, it does come up. All right, right there. All right, Stefan, you just go up here. You hit the hamburger. And it give you the list. All right. Stefan, put in diamond, hit the hamburger, get the list. All right. Up there in the alerts, there is a orientation video for all new members and for old. At the end, there's a lot of slides. I'm not talking at the end of the video, but there's some really good content in the slides. Okay? Just letting you know, it's up there in the alerts. Just pull it down. You'll see it. It's right over Ed Carter. Good morning and buckle up. All right? Any other questions? Nothing? All right. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here. Tough day. We really didn't get going much except for the big bar at the beginning of the day. Yeah. Robert wants to look at Bank of America. Okay, we're going to go look at Bank of America. Bank of America is... There's your all-time high in 2022. All right, right there. All right, and then we'll go back to the daily chart. On the daily chart, you're still technically in a downtrend, but you made a lower high, and then a higher low, and then a higher high. So technically you're in an uptrend. And price action is in an uptrend here with the 3 green candle bars right there. Up over the bullish trap, over the 17. Where you're going to find resistance, you got a head and shoulders here. And right across the top of those shoulders, you're going to see some resistance. Hence, that's where price stopped here. That's why you got a wick there. And you got a wick here with selling in the body. Notice it closed underneath. So there's your resistance right across the top of those 2 shoulders. Okay, if it gets up here and holds for 3 or 4 days, you got yourself a possible winner for some new all-time highs. Okay, you're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP there. Let's go to the 2024 anchored VWAP. I'm almost sure you're up over that. See that? So you're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, right there. And up over the 2024 high anchored VWAP. Okay, that's bullish. But you are right on resistance right now, right here. Okay, you got wick. And if you compress this price action, you get a big wick right there. All right, traders. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Thanks for being here. I do expecting price to melt up tomorrow back to the highs. We'll see what happens. Everybody have a wonderful evening.